It is wild to think about now, but Lil' Kim actually tried to warn the world about Diddy decades ago. Back in the day, she repeatedly spoke out against the mogul, exposing the dark truth about his inner circle and the ruthless way he did business. But nobody listened. They laughed her off, called her bitter, and brushed her warnings under the rug. Fast forward to today, and the dark secrets of the 90s hip-hop scene are finally spilling out for the entire world to see. Now that a massive wave of allegations is surfacing against Diddy, proving Kim's early claims right, people are realizing she was telling the truth the whole time. Former insiders, close friends, and bodyguards are stepping out of the shadows, revealing crazy allegations surrounding Biggie Small's final days and the ultimate betrayals that happened behind closed doors. Word on the street is that Kim was forced into silence by powerful executives who wanted to protect their billion-dollar empires. She witnessed things that could bring down the biggest names in the music industry. But the silence is finally breaking. So what exactly did Kim know? And what really happened the night the King of New York lost his life?
Diddy told her he was going to kill Biggie. She knew it was going to happen. She was purposefully not by her husband's side that night. It happened, and she was told she had to lie about it. And guess what? That lie held up until that boy turned 18. And he started having ideas of what he wanted to do, what he inherited. Because the paperwork was set up for Faith to not be able to receive a dollar from Biggie's estate unless it was for little Christopher. And she only had one child with Christopher. The other children who required taking care of and feeding and all of them couldn't be fed off of Christopher Wallace's money. They weren't his kids. See how that works? Right.
Why was Biggie even in Los Angeles when tensions were at an absolute boiling point? Following Tupac's tragic passing, the West Coast was essentially hostile territory for anyone wearing a bad boy chain. Biggie had no business being in California, especially since he was recovering from a severe car crash and was confined to a wheelchair. He couldn't even walk, let alone run if things went south. Yet, he was out there. Former bodyguard Gene Deal recently dropped some explosive claims about how this dangerous trip was orchestrated. According to Gene, Diddy purposely rented studio time in Los Angeles for Biggie to finish his album.
How you feel about the people that say Biggie was asking for him coming to LA so soon after Tupac got killed, and him getting on the radio rapping Long Kiss Goodnight?
Man, you get 100 people in the room, and out of the 100 people, probably 3 would say it was all right for Big to be in LA. 97% of those people would say he had no business in LA at that time. We all knew that. Why would Puff rent studio time? Come on, man, look, you gotta look at what people do, man. You know Pac just got killed. It ain't no kind of business Big was doing. Big couldn't even walk, he couldn't run. They was pushing him around in a wheelchair, brother. Why the hell would you rent studio time in LA for him to finish your album when in fact you got your own studio, Daddy's house? Let's keep it a buck. Let's stop this bullshit, man. Let's stop doing these interviews, man, about this shit. Because people ain't getting it. He did not want the beef with the Crips. Puff ain't want the beef with the Dog Pound, Snoop them or whatever. Big started that beef. You understand what I'm saying? Puff ain't want none of that beef. So what I'm gonna do is, y'all want the sheep? I'm gonna put them out the pasture. Catch them if you can. If you got that wolf in you, catch them if you can. Why in the hell you would put your man in a situation by sending him to Cali to work on your album when you know not his limits, but your limits was just by that you was running with? Why would you do that?
Diddy built an absolute empire off the backs of his artists, but his treatment of Lil' Kim was a masterclass in manipulation and disrespect. Despite Kim being the undeniable queen of hip-hop and a massive moneymaker for the crew, Diddy blatantly refused to sign her to Bad Boy Records. His excuse? He actually told MTV she was simply too pretty to be a rapper. He claimed female MCs shouldn't look like her, entirely dismissing her groundbreaking talent.
I don't know, how'd you guys hook up? How'd you guys meet?
Oh, we met through Biggie.
Yeah, we met through Biggie.
Mm-hmm. And it's funny because when I first met him, I thought he didn't like me because every time he saw me, he'd lick his tongue at me or he'd make a funny face. But then as the years went by, I saw how much love he had for me. So I love you, Puff, and I'm so happy for you.
Now, let's talk a little bit about you. We hear all the guys screaming. I know the guys have groupies. The male stars definitely have groupies. Now, you must have. What kind of stuff do guys do when they come to your guys' show?
Wow, they do different things. I remember one time I was going to a show in Atlanta, and this guy came up to me and was like, "Oh wow, Little Kim," and he picked me up and threw me over his shoulder and started running out the airport. I was just really shocked. I wasn't really scared though. I was just like, oh my God, did you see what he just did?
And what happened to him? No, we don't have to go there.
Even after her debut album, Hardcore, sold over 1 million copies and shifted the entire culture, Diddy still kept her off the official roster. He didn't believe a woman could consistently sell massive amounts of records.
Kim is more irritated with the fact that, you know, how the situation is going down, especially what Puffy is doing. Yeah, he's darn right about that. Puffy looks crazy right now. You know what I mean? That's why I said in my Baltimore show, Puffy, you should be ashamed of yourself. Because at the end of the day, if you're going to rock with anybody that hard, you should be rocking with me that hard.
This is 50.com.
If you're going to rock with anybody that hard. You know what I mean? And you can never make another Big and Kim. That's not going to happen. It's never going to happen. Like, what? You kidding me? This is never going to happen. Like, I don't get it. But, you know, at the end of the day, like, Puffy is Puffy. I mean, you know, it's all about what he can do, what he can give to people. That's it. Puffy it's all about himself a lot of times. Because he never really did nothing for me.
But the ultimate betrayal happened when Kim faced the darkest chapter of her life. In 2005, Kim was sentenced to federal prison for perjury, taking the fall and doing time to protect her crew. You would think the man who called himself her brother and manager would step up. Instead, Diddy completely abandoned her.
Things for each other, but like I judge by what happens afterwards. When I was locked up, and here's where Puffy should feel really bad. When I was locked up, Puffy never put a $10 bill, a penny, a quarter in my commissary. He never wrote me a letter. He didn't try to come see me. None of that. I got people like Oprah. She wrote me 3 letters, right? She wrote me 3 letters and sent me 3 of her favorite books, which I love her to this day for that, because those books were so inspiring. And one of them, well, I'll tell you the name of the books later, but anyway, you know, Tyra Banks writing me. Mark Jacobs wrote me every freaking day. He told me everything that was going on from when he first woke up to the end of the night. What does it take just to say, let me make sure somebody who was a major part of my family is all right? You know, like when you locked up, the one major thing is that makes you feel like, damn, this person really loved me and is on my side, is that when they just take the time out to do one little thing. It's not even the big things that matter, because it ain't the money. I was straight in jail. I had too much money in my commissary. When I came home, they had to send my money back. It wasn't that. But you could have came to see me one time. You could have wrote me 1 letter.
Biggie wasn't planning on staying under Diddy's thumb forever. In fact, he was secretly orchestrating an exit strategy that would have changed hip-hop history entirely. During a private flight, Gene Deal was asked to look after Diddy's briefcase. While skimming through the documents inside, Gene stumbled upon a jaw-dropping contract. It wasn't just a standard record deal. It was a massive blueprint for Biggie to build his own empire. This top-secret deal was reportedly worth $62 million.
Big had a contract, and what happened was when me and Puff rode on the plane coming back down there, Puff gave me his briefcase and everything like that. Like, yo, here, like me carry this. Say, all right, motherfucker, I got 5 hours, 6 hours on this thing. Let me see what's in the briefcase. And I seen Big contract, and it was talking about, well, you get $250,000, you know, for signing. You're going to get another 250,000. The thing go gold. Then you're going to get this much and you're going to get that much. And then at the end of the contract, I was skimming through it. At the end of the contract said, we're going to discuss about you getting your publishing and your marketing back. Right. So I was asking Big's questions about that because I didn't know what publishing was. I didn't know what marketing was. And Big was showing me a contract because I was saying to Big was like, yo, Gene, I like you. I would take you with me, bro. But you love that nigga too much. I said, love that nigga too much? What do you mean I love him too much? He said, yeah, you love him too much, bro. I would take you with me. I said, how you going to take me with you and you broke? He said, I'm broke. I said, yeah, you broke, man. You owe Mike Gadget 30,000 for the system in them drop boxes he put in your truck. And he was like, yo, how you know that? I said, niggas talk and run their mouth, Big. Yo, he said, oh, shit. He said, but I'm about to get this money. So he showed me, I said, you about to get that money? He said, yeah, look at this. It had Charlie Baltimore, Cameron, Little C's, Little Kim, Junior Mafia, Tracy, I don't know, Tracy Murray,
Tracy Lee.
Tracy Lee, and the commission. And I think the contract was for so many years for like 62 million. It comes out to like $62 million.
The tragic night Biggie lost his life wasn't just a random act of street violence. According to those who were there, it was a highly coordinated inside job. The streets have always whispered that Biggie's vehicle was specifically targeted, and the details surrounding it are bone-chilling. Gene Deal revealed that Biggie was riding in a green SUV when leaving the Peterson Automotive Museum. But this wasn't just any normal SUV. Someone had gone out of their way to place large promotional stickers for Biggie's upcoming album, Life After Death, right on the hubcaps and doors.
What deal was it for Biggie to lead a vibe party in an SUV with the Life After Death stickers on the hubcaps?
Well, I don't know if Big came over to Andre Harrell with that on his car, but Puff didn't have it on his car. You understand that? So only one that has the opportunity and only one that could have done that was somebody for the street team. Do you understand that? And they are put up to do certain things. And when I never knew it myself, and I didn't know it that night, that those stickers was on the car. I didn't know that till years later. But anytime you see any kind of thing like that on a vehicle, on the street sign, on a wall, it comes from the street team. So somebody was put up to do that, but they didn't put it on Puff car. And those cars was rented. So to put those stickers on there, you defacing the property. You understand? Somebody got to pay for that. So my whole thing about it is that it was somebody in our crew that wanted them to know that Big was in that vehicle. And to separate it, that's where you get there was more than one people trying to kill us. You understand?
You're right.
That's where you get that at, brother. That there was more than one, different people was trying to kill us. Cause somebody wanted to know, yo, if y'all gonna get big, you go to the car with the stickers on it.
When you go back to that night, right, when Biggie was, how does that feel when you think about it now, knowing that Biggie Killer was watching y'all that whole night, plotting on
Bruh, before we left Andre Harrell house, Puff told me I didn't have to go. Now, I went because I knew that somebody was going to die that night. Somebody was going to get shot. I did everything in my power to stop it from being Puff. And it wasn't Puff. Because that was my principle. The people that was bodyguarding Big didn't do everything in their power to stop it from being big. And that hurts me. Even though it wasn't my principle. Do you understand what I'm saying?
You're right.
bro, it hurts. Every time you hear his music, every time you see one of these murals on the walls, now they got statues. It's gonna hurt until God takes me away from here.
Did Biggie's own wife know exactly what was going to happen to him before the triggers were pulled? This is where the story takes an incredibly dark turn. Industry insider Jaguar Wright recently dropped some jaw-dropping allegations regarding Faith Evans and her role in the tragedy.
Diddy told her he was going to kill Biggie. She knew it was going to happen. She was purposefully not by her husband's side that night. It happened, and she was told she had to lie about it. And guess what? That lie held up until that boy turned 18. And he started having ideas of what he wanted to do, what he inherited. Because the paperwork was set up for Faith to not be able to receive $1 from Biggie's estate unless it was for little Christopher. It's funny, when you ask Faith how long her and Biggie was together before they got married, the story changes every time. It was 10 days, it was 20 days, it was this days, it was that days. I'm not saying that she didn't develop feelings for him. I'm not saying that she didn't care about the father of her son. I'm saying she was hired for one job. Her being involved with Pac in the midst of all of that. But she didn't know Pac was Pac. I mean, come on, none of this shit makes sense. What really does make sense is that Diddy has had a long career of using to trap niggas into making them do what he wants to do or using them to move them out the way. Struggling artists trying to make their way up, not getting the break that they needed. All of a sudden they stand next to the right guy and then now you know that guy is dead and they're okay for life. Right. You know how many people in the business that happens to? Ask me how much different Faith life, her whole life career look. How does a woman with that much talent end up married to somebody like Stevie J?
It was a giant, unmistakable bullseye in the middle of the night. Gene pointed out that these vehicles were rented, meaning someone purposely defaced property just to mark the car. But the most alarming detail, Diddy's vehicle didn't have a single sticker on it.
Why is he out there working on Puff album when you got the Hit Factory? You got Daddy's house. You got the place where Tupac was shot at, Quad Studio. There's plenty of places Big could have been. Why the West Coast? Come on, man. And then you got a half retarded nigga like Lil C. Big love Cali. Big wanted his publishing. Big wanted his marketing. He knew he couldn't go nowhere and be who he needed to be without it. So if Puff would have told that nigga go to hell with gasoline draws on, that nigga would have went to hell. All money ain't good money, brother. That's my take on it, man. I don't know if you like it or not.
These claims paint a terrifying picture of greed, betrayal, and a massive cover-up orchestrated at the highest levels. While Biggie's inner circle was allegedly crumbling into deception and hidden agendas, Lil' Kim was fighting a silent, agonizing war of her own against the very man who promised to protect her.
He was the type of person to motivate you. He always wanted anyone to succeed. He always wanted everybody to have a better life for themselves. He was just hungry. He just wanted to make the album. If he could get 500,000 fans, he used to say, he happy. That's what he used to say. He was like a teddy bear. He was just so cudgy, and I thought he was really nice, and he had this way about him with women. He was different from and Ready to Die, did Life After Death to me. He was a little bit more firm, you know what I mean? Because I guess he knew what was out there after that. He just got a little bit more mature and a little bit more business-wise. Big hated the fact that all of it was going on. He loved Tupac and everybody from the West that he had known. He loved them. He just knew that it was a bad thing when Tupac passed. He felt real bad. He knew that there were a lot of people out there that would probably be out there to get him, whether it's they wanted his money or whether they, just didn't like him because of the rumors. He knew it was people out there who wanted to get him. So he always felt for his safety. He felt the need for us.
Diddy didn't just want Kim sidelined, he wanted total, terrifying control over her entire career trajectory. The second Kim was locked away, Diddy wasted no time aligning himself with her fiercest rival, Nicki Minaj.
A lot of people in a certain way, we've been those cats that people have aspired to be. You know what I'm saying? And I wouldn't be around Nicki if I ever heard nothing ever negative said about Kim. You know what I'm saying? I never heard nothing like that. But then when it comes to just being an MC, that's when I gotta stand back. You know what I'm saying? Now, if they want to do things and be MCs, that's their business. I'm not with any negativity. I'm not with no beef. You know what I'm saying? And I love both of them. You know what I'm saying? And at the same time, you know, right now, Nicki Minaj, you know, that's who my artist is. That's who I consult. That's who I do business with. I no longer do business with Kim on that level, but Kim will always have a special place in my heart. And it's like that. Kim is the queen. I mean, read in between the lines what you want it to be. It is what it is. Kim is the queen, and I love Kim. And Nicki's the queen in her own right. You know what I'm saying? And that's exactly the way I feel about it. So don't twist my words. Don't make it no way it is or it ain't. That's what it is. And I think they should be doing records together, as a matter of fact, instead of, you know, doing anything that isn't showing unification. But yo, man, I can't preach to the choir. Everybody grown. I done been through my things, and everybody was like, yo, you went through your things. People got to go through their own things. And right now it's that dirty money time. I spoke on that, and that's what it is. And it's a positive thing, and that's what it is. Be clear.
It's Hot 97, Funk Flex, Diddy, Dirty Money.
And I will never forget the times I had with Kim, and we can have some more times because I'm still here. Shout out to little Kim. Shout out to Kim. What's up, Kim? Shout out to Kim. And shout out to Nicki. Congratulations on those numbers, Nick. That's what's up. Let's go.
It all brings the narrative full circle. Lil' Kim wasn't just complaining about bad business deals. She was sounding the alarm on a deeply toxic and allegedly dangerous operation. For years, word in the industry was that Kim was warned and heavily threatened to stay quiet about everything she witnessed in the 90s. That fear explains her years of frustrating silence, while others rewrote history. But things are drastically different now. With Diddy's empire currently under a massive federal microscope and the world finally ready to listen, Lil' Kim is absolutely no longer protecting him. The walls are closing in on the bad boy legacy. The sheer amount of betrayal she survived, combined with the tragic, unresolved loss of Biggie, has set the stage for the ultimate exposure. If Lil' Kim finally decides to sit down and tell her entire, unedited story without holding anything back, the consequences will be earth-shattering. She was in the studio, on the private jets, and in the exclusive rooms where the darkest decisions were made. So the real question is, when Lil' Kim finally cracks this can of worms wide open, who else in the music industry is going to fall with it?